Okay, Julia, nice to see you again. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah,
Doing all
okay.
right.
How has your week been?
It's an okay week. I was feeling a little anxious and
Right.
distracted on and off
Yeah,
throughout the week.
sure. Okay. And I remember from our last session, we were aware of that anxiety and we're kind of working on some cognitive, some hot thoughts and things, but it also seemed like there was a pretty strong image that was present for you around your anxiety. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. All right. So maybe what we could do today is figure out what that image is and kind of we've both got our clipboards here and maybe doing some writing out the details of what that image is using all of our five senses and then using some of the interventions we've got around working with imagery. So does that work for our agenda for the day?
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
great.
Okay. Well, let's just start broadly then. What can you just talk kind of in broad strokes about what this image is that's causing you some anxiety?
Sure, yeah. So the image I'm having is um, I'm picturing myself coming up to my mom for the
Coming up
first
to your mom.
time.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just have this image in my head for some reason that I'm telling her. And just as I tell her, I just see her face get kind of scrunched up and making this kind of judgment face that
Hmm.
she tends to make when she doesn't want to say anything judgmental, but I can tell in her face that she's
Okay.
judging.
All right, so a scrunched up kind of judgmental face that you're
Yeah.
imagining is going to happen. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right. So like that's sort of the kind of the broad strokes of it. Let's just dig into it a little bit more and try to understand from all of our five senses what might be going on in this image. So why don't we first start with what you can see? Tell me a little bit more about kind of the objects that you might see around you.
Okay. So whenever this pops into my head, I picture myself in my apartment with my
Mm-hmm.
mom.
Okay.
So the main thing that comes to my mind is just her face being
Mm-hmm.
like really close to me for some reason.
Okay.
But then in the background, seeing just stuff around my apartment, I
Mm-hmm.
guess,
Mm-hmm.
my decor, my side tables, stuff,
Right.
apartment stuff.
Apartment stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it doesn't sound like the apartment stuff is all that. I mean, it's important to kind of think about what your apartment looks like and how that is in your mind. Sounds like the picture of your mom's face is pretty important. Can you describe that in a little bit more detail? What you're seeing in her face?
Yeah, maybe uh, the main thing I'm seeing is that face of judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing her squint her eyes,
Squint her eyes.
kind
Okay.
of perk her lips. I don't know how to say
Mm-hmm.
it, but sort of like a duck face kind of thing she
Okay.
makes.
Yeah. Maybe purse her lips.
Yeah,
Yeah.
purse her lips.
Okay.
Just like quizzical. Maybe even her head is like going to the side a little bit.
Hmm. Okay. Head to side. Okay. Okay. So you're seeing her kind of squint her eyes, put her head to the side a bit, maybe purse her lips. And this seems like a face you've seen before in other times, hey?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe we'll pick up on that detail in a second. Okay. So we've talked about what you see around you, your apartment, your apartment things, and then your mom's
Mm-hmm.
face. What kind of things might you hear when you're in this image and plays across your mind?
Yeah, when I have it in my head, for some reason, the hearing is just like I almost hear deadening silence.
Hmm.
Like in the movies when like a bomb goes off or something, and
Right.
they're just it's dead silent. Maybe there's a little ringing for some
Ringing.
reason. So for some reason, when I think about it, there's not a lot of sound.
Right.
It just sounds really silent.
Just silent. Okay. So we're kind of building this image up in your apartment. Are you? I guess are you sitting on a couch at a table? What are you doing in your apartment?
I didn't think about that
Hmm.
when I first thought about it. We're just kind of standing there, but that would probably never happen.
Okay.
So maybe we're sitting on the couch or
Sitting on.
something,
Okay.
relaxing.
Okay. Okay. So you're sitting on the couch, and you're just telling your mom about coming out of the closet, and you're seeing her face, and there's this silence, maybe a little bit of ringing in your ears. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are there any things that you might feel with your sense of touch at that moment?
I might be fidgeting a bit, so maybe I'm feeling my pants,
Mm-hmm.
or if I'm on the couch, maybe I'm touching the couch a little or holding a pillow.
Okay. What does the couch feel like?
My couch is a little rough at home,
Okay.
so maybe I'll feel the kind of divots in my couch
Rough.
and that bit of texture that my couch has.
Okay. Yeah. Is it a texture that you would say is pleasant? Is it the roughness? Is it unpleasant? What? How would you describe that?
It's like a pleasant roughness.
Okay.
Maybe roughness is the wrong word, but there's a bit of a texture to my couch.
Okay, pleasant
so,
texture.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take away roughness. Texture. Okay. And the pillow, what would that feel like?
I have these really soft down pillows,
Nice.
so they kind of form to however you're holding them.
Okay.
They feel very soft.
I just noted how your arms were. Do you think you'd be hugging? Are you hugging the pillow in your image?
Probably
Okay.
a little bit of a protective,
Yeah.
comforting thing.
Okay. 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 What might you be able to smell in this image?
Smell. Me and my mom do a lot of cooking together,
Okay.
so if she's over, we're probably making something. So there's probably like a pot of sauce on or
Okay.
something, and the tomatoey smell might be in the air, simmering away.
Okay. Let's deepen that image a little bit more. Sauce. It sounds like you do that quite often with your mom. Um, Talk a little bit more about what the sauce smells like for you.
Yeah, the sauce, it's something that simmers for a really long time.
Okay.
So it's got like a really rich, deep,
Mm.
tomatoey smell, very lots of spices in there. There's meatballs that she throws in there, so I might be smelling the beef and the venison and everything that she puts in her
Venison.
meatballs.
Oh, nice. Those are nice meat. Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
They're very good.
Delicious. Okay. Yeah. So a rich, deep. You said spices. So a deep smell of this sauce that's been simmering for a long time on the stove. Okay. And anything that you could taste in this image? We're just building it up here.
Taste is a hard one, but maybe I'm tasting in my mouth. Like when I get nervous, my mouth gets a little dry.
Okay.
So maybe I'm having that kind of dry mouth taste,
Yeah.
or maybe I'm even tasting sort of the smell of the sauce as well while I'm breathing in.
Yeah, I was going to mention that if it's a really strong scent, then maybe we can kind of taste it as well. Okay. Okay. And then maybe just lastly, if you can, again, I'll talk it back to you or read it back to you here. So you're imagining you're sitting on your couch, just telling your mother that you're gay, coming out of the closet, and you're imagining, and you can see her face, kind of her head tilts, her lips purse, she's squinting her eyes a little bit. It's this silence, almost like when a bomb goes off in a movie. You're fidgeting, you feel the kind of pleasant texture of your couch, but you're noting that, hugging a soft down pillow. And then smelling that strong scent of sauce with the beef and venison meatballs and the tomato smell and the spices. Kind of tasting that dry mouth as you're telling her this. What kind of emotions do you think does this bring up for you? Obviously anxiety, but anything else?
Maybe nervousness. Not to be dramatic, but a little bit of dread almost.
Yeah.
Like I'm just kind of dreading this moment quite a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of dread, anxiety, nervousness.
Yeah.
Those sorts of feelings.
And as I read out the image to you and just sort of spoke it back to you, were those emotions coming up for you in this moment?
Yes, yeah, big time.
Okay. Anything else that would be important for us to highlight or add to this image just before we move into kind of working with it a little bit?
I don't think so. I think that's pretty complete.
Yeah. Okay.
Image.
Okay, great. So what we'll do from here is we'll take a look at those worksheets that I gave you, and we can sort of decide which of those interventions we can use with this image.
Okay, sure. Sounds good.